Hello everyone and welcome to the lesson on Docker. So introduction to Docker. Open source platform. Docker is an open source platform for managing containers. It streamlines the process of developing, deploying and running applications. Uses containers for consistency and portability. So containers enable applications and dependencies to be bundled together, ensuring consistent behavior across various environments. Accelerates development and deployment. So Docker's containerization technology speeds up development and deployment, making it popular among developers and operating teams. Docker components overview. Docker client provides a command line interface, CLI, or a graphical user interface for user interaction. Docker daemon, also known as dockerd. Docker daemon manages Docker objects like images, containers, networks and volumes and runs on host machine. Container runtime. Container runtime such as containerd or runc handles running and managing containers. Docker images are read-only templates with the application dependencies and runtime environment. Docker containers are lightweight, isolated environments created from Docker images. Docker Registry is a centralized service for storing and distributing Docker images like Docker Hub. Dockerfile is a script with instructions for building a Docker image. Docker Compose defines and runs a multi-container Docker applications using a YAML configuration file. So this is some of the components. We have Docker client, which interacts with Docker daemon, and Docker daemon controls container runtime, and Docker daemon controls Docker images, and Docker images spawn Docker containers, and Docker images get stored into a Docker registry. And Docker client also builds and manages Dockerfile, and Docker client can also help with Docker Compose file, which will spawn a multi-container environment, or it will spawn a multi-container application for you. Docker client and Docker daemon. User interaction with Docker. Docker client is the primary way users interact with Docker platform. Command line interface, CLI, or graphical user interface, GUI. So users can choose between a command line CLI or a graphical user interface to manage Docker objects and sends commands to Docker daemon. So Docker client sends command directly to Docker daemon, which is responsible, and Docker daemon is responsible for executing the commands sent by Docker client. Container runtime runs and manages containers. Container runtime is responsible for running and managing containers. Examples: containerd and runc. Communicates with Docker daemon. So Docker daemon communicates with the container runtime to create, start, stop and monitor containers. So Docker daemon is actually interacting with container runtime to manage, create, start, stop and monitor containers. Containers and images. Containers are lightweight standalone packages. They are the core building blocks of Docker, containing everything needed to run an application. Images are basis for containers. Docker images are read-only, layered templates for creating containers. Images can be created or pulled from repositories. So images can be built from a Docker file or pulled from public or private repositories like Docker Hub. Containers are isolated from each other and the host system. Containers provide isolation, ensuring consistent behavior and minimal conflicts across environments. Dockerfile and Docker engine. Dockerfile is a script for building Docker images, and it contains instructions for building a Docker image, including the base image, application code, dependencies and configurations. Docker engine manages and runs containers. So the Docker engine is the core component that manages containers, handling tasks like starting, stopping and building images. Docker engine communicates with the Docker client. The Docker engine is a daemon that communicates with the Docker client via REST API, CLI or GUI. Docker client enables user interaction. The Docker client allows users to interact with Docker Daemon, issuing commands to manage containers, images, and other resources. Docker Registry and Dockerfile. Docker Registry, which we can consider as centralized image storage. It's a centralized service for storing and distributing Docker images, making it easy to share and access images across different environments. Example, Docker Hub. And Docker Hub is a very popular example of a Docker registry, which you might have already experienced it. Dockerfile, script for building images. So Dockerfile is a script containing instructions for building a Docker image, and it starts usually with a base image, defining the base image, then followed by some application code and dependencies and some configurations. Docker Hub and Docker Compose. Docker Hub is a cloud-based registry service for storing, sharing, and distributing Docker images in public or private repositories. It stores, shares, and distributes Docker images, and it seamlessly integrates with Docker CLI and Docker Desktop for easy access to images. Docker Compose is a tool for multi-container applications, and Docker Container simplifies the management of multi-container applications by using a YAML file to define services, networks, and volumes. Using a YAML file for configuration, you can, with a single command, you can create and start all services defined in the configuration file. So this is a very high level map of Docker components. We have Docker client, Docker Daemon, which communicates with Docker runtime, and Docker Daemon manages Docker container. Container runtime runs and manages Docker containers. Docker Daemon processes Docker Compose file, which ultimately orchestrates Docker containers, and Docker images provides templates for Docker containers. Same Docker Daemon is also managing Docker images, and Docker Daemon builds and interacts with Docker Registry, where the images are stored and retrieved. And Docker client interacts with Docker Compose and uses Dockerfile to build a Docker image. So now we'll see what are the differences between Docker versus virtual machine. So isolation method, Docker containers process level isolation using namespace and C groups, while virtual machines are hardware level isolation using hypervisor. Next is resource overhead. For containers, it is low overhead, and it will share the host OS kernel. There is a higher overhead because each VM runs a full OS. Startup time fast, usually in milliseconds. Virtual machine slow and can take several minutes. Image size small, typically 10 of megabytes to few gigabytes. Virtual machines, it's large, typically several gigabytes. Portability high because images can run on any Docker enabled system, and portability is lower for VMs because VMs may require specific hypervisor. Performance near native, minimal overhead, slightly lower due to hardware emulation. Next, scalability. For Docker container, it's high scalable because can run many containers on a single host. Lower scalability because it's limited by host resources and overhead. Management centralized with Docker engine, often managed individually or with hypervisor tools. Storage and networking, uses Docker storage and networking plugins, uses virtualized storage and networking. Versioning and sharing. For Docker containers, it's simple with Docker images and Docker Hub. Virtual machines, it's complex because it may require VM snapshots and exports. Configuration, Dockerfile or Docker Compose.yaml, VM specific configuration files. Security, process level isolation, potentially less secure. Stronger isolation, potentially more secure. So now we'll go through some Docker commands. So I will list top 20 Docker commands, their usage, description, and use cases, and they are essential for managing Docker. So first is Docker version, which displays the installed Docker version and is useful for checking if Docker is installed and verifying the version. Docker info provides system-wide information about the Docker installation and host system, including the number of containers, images, and other related data. Docker pull downloads a Docker image from a registry like Docker Hub, and it's useful for getting base images or updating existing ones. Docker push uploads a Docker image to a registry, allowing users to share custom images or store them remotely. Docker images list all Docker images on the local system, showing details like repository, tag, and size. Now, next is building and running containers. Specific to this building and running containers, Docker build creates a Docker image from a Docker file in the current directory, allowing customizations of settings, applications, and configurations. Docker run starts a new container from a specified image, useful for running applications, services, or tasks. Docker ps list currently running containers and their details. Docker ps-a shows all containers, including the stopped ones. Docker restart a stopped container, and Docker stop halts a running container, useful for maintenance tasks or stopping unneeded containers. Next, related to managing containers and images, Docker rm deletes a stopped container, freeing up system resources. Docker rmi removes a Docker image from the local system, freeing up storage space. Docker exec runs a specified command inside a running container, useful for debugging, interacting with applications, or managing the container's environment. Docker logs shows the logs of a container, helpful for troubleshooting or monitoring activity. Docker attach connects the current shell to a running container, allows direct interaction or output monitoring. Docker cp copies files or directories between a container and the local file system, useful for transferring configuration files, data, or logs. Now we'll see some advanced Docker commands. Docker commit saves a container's current state as a new image, capturing changes like installed packages or modified files for future use. Docker network create establishes a custom Docker network, enhancing isolation, security, or communication between containers. Docker volume create generates a named Docker volume for persistent data storage, enabling data persistence across container restarts or data sharing between containers. So some popular container engines. Docker is the most popular container engine and uses Containerd as its runtime. Containerd is a standalone container runtime used by Docker and can be used by Kubernetes. CRI-O is a lightweight container runtime designed specifically for Kubernetes. Runc is a CLI tool for spawning and running containers according to the OCI specification. Podman is a daemonless open source container engine compatible with Docker CLI and Docker Compose. LXD is a container and virtual machine manager built on top of LXC, Linux containers. Kubernetes is a container orchestration platform that can work with multiple container runtimes. And we have one more. We have one Rocket, which is a discontinued container runtime that I'll follow the app container appc specification. Okay, next is Docker and Containerd. Docker's popularity is the most popular container engine and has become synonymous with container technology. Containerd as Docker's runtime. Docker uses Containerd as its runtime, which is designed to be embedded into larger systems. OCI standards support. Docker supports the OCI, Open Container Initiative standard, ensuring compatibility with other OCI compliant container technologies. So CRI-O and runc, designed for Kubernetes, CRI-O is a lightweight container runtime specifically designed for Kubernetes. Implements Kubernetes CRI. It implements Kubernetes container runtime interface for seamless integration. Supports OCI compatible runtimes. CRI-O supports OCI compatible runtimes like runc, ensuring a wide range of compatibility with other container engines. Podman and LXD. Podman, Docker alternative. So Podman is a daemonless open source container engine designed to be a drop-in replacement for Docker. Podman's compatibility with Docker. Podman is compatible with Docker CLI and Docker Compose, making it easier for users to transition from Docker. LXD, VM-like experience. So LXD provides a more virtual machine-like experience with containers built on top of LXC, which is Linux containers. So Kubernetes and Rocket. Kubernetes container orchestration. Kubernetes is a container orchestration platform focusing on deploying and managing containerized applications at scale. Multiple container runtime support. It works with multiple container runtimes such as Docker, Containerd, CRI-O, and abstracting. So that's how it's abstracting away the underlying container engine. Rocket, which is discontinued container runtime, was a container runtime that followed the appc specification, but its development was discontinued in favor of Containerd and CRI-O. So we have the container runtime interface CRI, and Kubernetes follows that spec, and that's how it will have components like kubectl deployment, kubelet, which kubelet is managing containers inside the pod. So pod can have one or more container, and kubelet is managing those container. And pod, so we have CRI, which is also interacting with Docker daemon, and we have Docker images, and Docker images is a basis for containers which actually goes into the pods. So this is how Docker is related with Kubernetes components or Kubernetes itself. So you must have a Docker engine or Docker compatible container runtime running on a machine, and then on top you have Kubernetes running, which is basically a container orchestration system. And that's all. Thanks for watching.